Swamin namaste natalokabandho karunya sindho patitam bhavabdhau mamuddharatmiya kataksha drishtya rajvyati karunya sudhabhivrishtya. Swamin namaste, Swamin namaste, Swamin namaste, Swamin namaste. Sarvadharam sarvavastu prakasham sarvakaram sarvagam sarvashunyam Nityam Shuddham Nishtam Nirvikalpam Brahmadvaitam Yat Tadevahamasmi Brahmadvaitam Yat Tadevahamasmi Nishkriyosmi Avikarosmi Nishkalosmi nirakritihi Nirvikalposmi nityosmi Niralambosmi nirdvayaha Sarvatmakoham Sarvoham Sarvatitoham advayaha Kevalakhandabodhoham Anandoham nirantaraha Kevalakhandabodhoham Anandoham nirantaraha Swarajya samrajya vibhutiresha Bhavat kripa shri mahima prasadat prapta maya shri gurave mahatmane namo namaste stu punarnamostu namo namaste stu Punarnamostu Namo Namastestu Punarnamostu Namastasmai Sadaikasmai Kasmai Chitmahase Namaha Yadetad Vishwarupena Rajate Guru Rajate Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru. So for many sessions now, I'm only talking about the Guru, the Sadguru, and the theme is, or we are discussing and sharing about Sadguru Sannidhya, the association of a Sadguru. And it is not only association, it is a very close association with a Sadguru. And now, for some weeks, I'm just sharing with you Swamiji's own experiences, his own life with his Guru, Baba Gangadhar Paramhamsaji, and how Swamiji had his sadhana under his guidance, the close association, and the love that Swamiji has for his Baba. From the time that he first met Baba, the love that he developed and which has guided him throughout his life. So, last week we were seeing Baba's own sadhana and Swamiji talking about what he learned from Baba, seeing the behavioral qualities of Baba, what all he introspected upon, and what all qualities he himself wanted to imbibe. And in that we saw that how Baba, being a self-realized master, he was always absorbed into himself. Not many people were around him. And he used to sing sometimes songs on devotion, jnana, and mostly he would sing one line on self-effacement, a line from Ravindra Tagore's song. We also saw that Swamiji felt that Baba was a very simple person, very amiable, and he had his own interactions with Baba, which was very free and very open. Many of the slokas which Baba used to tell, Swamiji had shared with us in his book, My Beloved Baba, and we went through two of those slokas. One is from Bhagavad Gita, Chanchalam hi manak Krishna, pramathi balavat dridham, tasyaham nigraham manne vayoriva sudushkaram. That is, the mind is very, very chanchala, turbulent and restless, and it is very, very difficult to restrain it, just like one cannot restrain wind. Similarly, it is very, very difficult. So, it is a warning to the seekers that mind is like that. We have to restrain it. We cannot allow the mind to do whatever it likes. So, another shloka which we came across in Swamiji's narration was from Ashtavakra Samhita, Yada yat kartumayati tada tat kurute rijuhu, shubham vapya shubham vapi tasya cheshtahi balavat. There is the self-realized masters, they behave like a child. See, normally the worldly people, and as from the state of childhood, we grow up, we develop many kind of knots in the mind. We have lots of likes and dislikes, preferences and prejudices. But the self-realized masters or the self-realized people, they transcend all that likes and dislikes. So their behavior is very natural and it becomes like a child. Just like a child will do whatever it feels like, its activities or the actions are not governed by any good or bad preferences. Sometimes it will be fond of somebody. If somebody calls, the child will go towards that person. Sometimes the same person, when he calls, he will not go. So like that, we see that children, sometimes they will be playing with some toy and another time will not like that toy. Similarly, the self-realized people, whatever comes their way, they take that up. They do not have preferences, but they behave like a child. So, in the last section, we saw that, session, we saw that Swamiji has introspected on Baba's narrating this sloka, and Swamiji tells us that knower too, like a child, will have his sense of doing or not doing. He will have his way of behavior and response. Generally a question comes from all the seekers. Generally what we do some action because we want to feel satisfied doing it, or we want a particular result. We feel that we'll be happy by doing this action. That is the net motive behind any action. And when the action does not bring about the result that we expected, we feel sorry, we feel sometimes drowned in misery and grief, or we become angry. And if it is successful, then we feel very happy. Now, we are the slaves of our own likes and dislikes. In this sloka, what it is said, that the knower or a self-realized person, he grows beyond these likes and dislikes. He doesn't work because the work will give him happiness. Whatever work comes before him, he does the work with happiness. Do you get it? Generally, common people, ordinary people, everybody mostly, we work because we want to get some kind of result by which we will be happy. But when somebody goes beyond likes and dislikes, he finds every work to be happy. He takes up anything that comes his way. And that state of his has been compared to the state of a child in this sloka by Ashtavakra. When he says Ashtavakra, he is telling King Janaka. So, Swamiji is further telling us the knower like a child will have the sense of doing or not doing. If he wants, he will not do. If he feels I don't want to do, he will not do. He will have his way of behavior and response. But that response or behavior will not be dictated by any ordinary standards of good and bad. Like ordinarily how we assess our work, that will not be applicable to a knower. The mind should find its deep and well-founded harmony. How does it happen? How is it that a knower, he takes up any work and he is happy? Even if he dislikes it, he will do it with utmost sincerity, utmost commitment, and utmost happiness also. He will not grumble and do. Maybe he doesn't want to do that. But the situation has been that it has come his way. He will do with happiness and with 100% mind. This is the difference with worldly people. Worldly people, when they do not want to do something, they will be grumbling, then cursing their own fate that they have to do all these things. No good fate is his. The knowers are not like that. So, why he is able to do it? Because he has a harmony in the mind. He sees everything as given to him by God. Every action, every situation, everything that he gets in his life, he finds that it is God's gift. God has given, so he does. Because God has given, just like in the nature, how the nature grows, the nature every day repeats itself. The sun rises, the sun sets, the moon rises, the moon sets. Summer is followed by rain, rain is followed by autumn, autumn is followed by winter. Never it goes against the harmony of nature. The knower or the realized person similarly attains a harmony with the nature, harmony with the creation. And that harmony allows him to be happy always. And that is why he doesn't make any differences that I don't like this or I like this. He does everything with a happy and calm mind. This harmony and its preservation are the most important aspect of spiritual wisdom. My dear children, I tell you every day that just listening, just reading is not our aim. Our aim is to understand each and every word. We should not miss the import of the words. What is this? This harmony and its preservation are the most important aspect of spiritual wisdom. So, we are those who are interested or inclined to spiritual path. Everybody's aim is to have spiritual knowledge, spiritual wisdom. And here, what is Baba saying, or what is Swamiji explaining further? He's saying that if you have the aim of gaining spiritual wisdom, how will you know it? Is it knowing only that I am not the body, I am the self? Is it enough to know that, yes, I am the changeless self? My body is perishable, but myself is not. All these theoretical ideas, is it enough to know that? Or something should manifest in your behavior, in your understanding, in your actions. So it says that the most important aspect of spiritual wisdom to preserve the harmony. The one who is wise, the one who is realized, automatically they will manifest this fact, will find in their actions, in their thought process, in their speech, in their behavior, this harmony. That they are not differential in their attitude. They go beyond likes and dislikes. So, enlightenment should lead to mental and moral harmony of an unshakable nature. So, when spiritual enlightenment takes place, and my dear children, for sincere seekers, it's not that enlightenment suddenly happens one day. Swamiji used to tell me that self-knowledge is not like one fine morning you will get up, you will find 2 horns in your head on which are written self-realization. That is, one fine morning we feel that, oh, we are self-realized. It is not so. It happens drop by drop, through thoughts, through speeches or words, through actions, through behavior, interactions. That is, we gain the harmony. We fall into various situations which are guided by likes and dislikes, which are guided by preferences and prejudices, and by introspection, we understand that if spiritual wisdom is our aim, then we must grow beyond that. And that is how in every situation we gain a little point in our favor. And that is how one becomes stabilized in the wisdom. So the enlightenment should lead to mental and moral harmony of unshakable nature. Again, unshakable. It cannot be shaken. Not that today I have harmony. Today, the situation in which I am, everything is okay in my life. My children are settled. I have enough bank balance. Our health is okay. We are going here and there, going to different countries to sightseeing, etc. So everything is very well. So I have harmony in my mind. It is not like that. Even if you are in a situation which is not conducive to you, which you do not like, which is full of difficulties or anxieties, your harmony should not be lost. Unshakable it should be. My quest on the subject was still on. We were discussing, Swamiji was discussing that he used to ask Baba, that Baba, who is a Siddha? Just like Arjuna was asking, who is a Sthita Prajna? Who is a Sthitadhi? Swamiji's question was also on the same line. He had asked Baba, and he was quoting that Baba used to say these slokas and how he has introspected on those slokas. Now he is going further, saying that my question on the subject was still on. He still had not found the reply to his question, and the quest was still alive. What is the quest? The enquiry on Siddhi, attainment, that is knowledge, and the Siddha, enquiry on the knower. Not only the enquiry on what is spiritual knowledge, also the enquiry that who is a knower? How do we know a knower? What are the qualities of a knower? What does he do? When will the sadhaka become a siddha? That is, when will a seeker become a realized person? A sadhaka, a seeker, will become a siddha, a realized person. What will a siddha be like? And a realized person, in what way will he be different, or what will he be like? What will be the transformations in him? How to know the Siddha? How will we know who is a Siddha? How will we know amidst so many people? How will we know that this person is self-realized person, wise person, knower? So these were Swamiji's questions at that time. So how old was he at that time? Maybe just 21. So young. He had taken his sadhana after getting initiated from the Guru so very seriously and sincerely that all these questions were burning in his mind. and he wanted to have the replies. So, he must be asking Baba these questions. One day, Baba was getting ready to start for some place. He was changing his dhoti. I was standing close by in the room, Swamiji is narrating. We were still in the midst of discussion. So, Baba, Swamiji used to ask this question to Baba maybe very often. One day, the discussion was on when Baba was about to go out somewhere and he was changing into a fresh dhoti. And Swamiji was nearby. So, as a reply to this question, Baba said, a Siddha would say, where are you running? Whom are you seeking? Go nowhere. Worship here alone, pointing to himself. A Siddha would say, where are you running? Whom are you seeking? Go nowhere. Worship here, pointing to himself. What does it mean? A Siddha, or the realized person, understands there is nothing to attain. You are the Atma. You are the self. It is not that self is something different from you and you have to attain it. We feel like that because we mistakenly identify with the body, which is changeful, and feel that the changeless Atma has to be attained. But actually, you are that. You are that changeless Atma. So, he says, where are you going? Suppose you have to go somewhere and you are walking. You start from the place A, you have to go walk to place B. So you will walk up to B and then you attain the place B. Now, suppose you are at a place, standing there, and somebody says that this is where you have to reach. This is the place where you have to reach. Then is there any necessity to go walk further? No. It is like that. We are already there, but we feel we have to walk. So the Siddha knows that the walking is not necessary. I am already there. I am already attained. So he says, where are you running? Where do you have to go? So this is very, very subtle what he is saying. A Siddha would say, where are you running? Whom are you seeking? You don't have to seek anybody. You are already that. You are that. Tat tvamasi. You are already that. Go nowhere. You don't have to go here and there. Worship here. Look within and you will find that you are already there. This is what a Siddha will say. A Siddha will say. The import was very clear to me. Now, after hearing Baba, what was Swamiji's thought process? What was his introspection? We are hearing, see, this is what, in those days, there were not much scope to hear lots and lots of things as it is there now. So many YouTube channels, so many things to hear, so lot of confusions also. Actually, everybody is speaking the same. All roads will lead to Rome. But people will hear this, that in the vasana or the desire of hearing. Now those days, there was very less scope of having association with the Mahatmas. Swamiji had the association with Baba. And whenever there is an association, very close association, there is a scope of hearing from a Mahatma, that those words should be etched in the mind and heart. Never feel that oh, he has spoken this, out of that, whatever suits me, I will take. And forget it. When I used to meet Swamiji in Jamshedpur, we were in Kharagpur at that time. So whenever he would visit Jamshedpur, from Kharagpur we used to go, stay there for a few days, listen to his lectures, meet him personally, ask him questions and come back. I used to write down. Those days were not days of recording. Neither there was a cassette player, nor there was a phone like this now where we can record anything and everything. So, what he said, I used to write down later. In my diaries, those are even now there. And what I would do, at other times, I would read them. And that, when actual physical association I was not getting, reading those, I would again be in the presence of Swamiji, hearing him again and again. So what Swamiji, after Baba told, just imagine the scene. Swamiji must be such that he must be asking him again and again. And Baba, while wearing a dhoti, while Swamiji was by his side, told him that, where are you running? Where will you go? You will go nowhere. There is nowhere to go. Worship in your heart. And Swamiji is introspecting in this manner. The import was clear to me. Swamiji is saying, imagine where all the worship of the usual devotee is centered and what really is the object of the worship. So, we have discussed quite much that Swamiji belonged to a very religious, devotional, pious family, given to a lot of devotional disciplines right in the morning, even before he went to school, even after he was in the college and he was in job, the spiritual and the devotional disciplines, very, very committedly he was doing. Now when Baba says this, in the association of Baba, he has told earlier also, all those became redundant and irrelevant. He understood. And he is again now saying that imagine where all the worship of the usual devotee is centered. And what really is the object of the worship? Where is the object of the worship? What did Baba say just now? Worship here inside. There is nowhere to go. So Swamiji is saying that we are always worshipping the outside deities and idols, thinking we have to reach them. But where is that presence, the supreme presence, which we call God? Where is that? It is inside us, very near to us, within us. So he was feeling that, oh, everybody worship outside. But actually the real object of worship is inside. Is not the worship an expression of the worshipper himself? And he also thought that when we worship, see, we grow up with worshipping. We see our parents worshipping. We also learn worshipping. We feel God is great and somewhere He is all-pervading, so He is somewhere outside. Very rarely we are told that He is inside you and in worship inside. We will go to the temples, we'll keep so many idols and images, and for this puja, that puja, we will make so much of arrangements, etc., preparations, and do puja. Now, what it is actually? So Swamiji is saying, is not the worship an expression of the worshipper himself? We are worshipping, but whose is the bhava of worship? Whose is the devotion? Whose is the sincerity? Whose is the one-pointedness? Whose is the love? And whose is non-expectation, not wanting anything from God, saying that, oh God, I love you, that is why I am doing worship. For with everything, it is the worshipper. It is the change which should take place in the worshipper. Idol doesn't change. Whatever we give him, flowers, fruits, gold, silver, dresses, so many things people give. And people feel that if we give a big puja, my family, God will protect very well. So, this is what the worshipper feels. But does it have any effect on the idol? Does it have any effect on God? Does it have any effect on the images or the temples? No. Only it has effect in the mind, our mind. If we can purify our mind with non-expectation, we only loving God, we worship, it is purifying ourselves. If we have motives and worship, then our mind will be full of fear and anxiety even if we have worshipped. Even if we have worshipped giving lots of offerings, the mind will still be anxious that, oh, will God be satisfied? Will He be pleased? Will He listen to my prayers? Will He fulfill my wishes? That anxiety will still be there. But when we say, God, I don't want anything from you, I just love you, so I'm chanting these shlokas in praise of you. Then there is transformation in the worshipper. And it should be like this. It should be like this. When we don't want anything from God, nothing. So, what a grave contrast, Swamiji is saying. Our search is for the subject and our effort is focused on the object. So actually, our search is for the subject. Ultimately, we want peace. We want happiness. We want calmness. And that is inside us, the subject. But to get that, we focus on the outside object in the images. When the worship becomes an occasion and compulsion to focus oneself on the worshipper, on his own attitude, devotion and fervor, then automatically the worship becomes meaningful. So, for any devotee, when is the worship or the puja meaningful for him? When does it really benefit him? When he focuses on oneself, to himself, that am I doing puja without any motive? Is my devotion very pure? So, when the worshipper focuses on his attitude, devotion and fervor, then his worship becomes meaningful and beneficial for his transformation. He then grows in devotion. So one has to be, ultimately one has to become introspective. One has to think. One cannot be, that is the problem with people. People will do the same puja over and over and over again. Every day getting up, lighting a lamp, lighting incense stick, chanting maybe some mantras, or sitting and chanting something and meditating. Every day, reading one page of Bhagavad Gita or one chapter of Bhagavatam. Every day doing the same thing, chewing the cud. But when will it be meaningful? When will all that worship be meaningful? It will be meaningful when we start thinking about, I'm doing all these things. Is my mind becoming purer? Is my mind becoming free of fear, anger, hatred, jealousy and all that? If it is not becoming, what should be the change in the attitude of worship so that I grow? I grow to be a purer and better person, better devotee. So, ultimately, the mind has to think and think. As it happened with Ramakrishna Dev, while worshipping goddess Kali, the worshipper will question himself and by that process delve into his own mind and heart. Ramakrishna Dev started talking to the deity that, oh, many things he would say. Talk, why am I like this? When will this go from me? When will these attitudes go from me? Like that. And he used to assess his own mind. Similarly, any devotee should start questioning himself, why my mind is behaving like this? If I am a devotee, why I am behaving like this? If I am a devotee, am I really a devotee? What are the lakshanas? What are the qualities of a devotee? What has Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita? What in Bhagavatam has it been said? What all qualities a devotee must have? In Bhagavad Gita, the first quality is adveshta sarva bhutanam. You should not have any kind of dvesha, that is ill feeling towards anybody. No ill feeling, no hatred towards anybody. We may not go and beat a person showing my hatred, but mentally we keep on cursing that person, complaining about that person, criticizing that person. That is also similar to having ill feeling. That is also beating a person mentally. So, to become a bhakta, in 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the lakshanas, the qualities of a devotee has been given. Are we worshipping, fulfilling all these qualities? No, not at all. We are not even seeing those qualities or going through those qualities and trying to see whether we fulfill those qualities. And only one I have said, adveshta sarva bhutana. Only in this, everybody will give 0 out of 100. So, are we devotees? If we are devotees, then what should be the change in us? One must think. And, my dear children, even in the very close association with a guru, a Sadguru, or a realized person, all these thoughts may not come. This introspection may not come. Even if you introspect, you may not relate it to oneself. You may not feel that it is necessary for you also. It is for any human being and common people, what happens? We can see others' defects very, very quickly. We cannot see our own defects at all. And if anybody says that comments on our any behavior or talk, we get annoyed. Actually, we should be very, very grateful to that person, saying that I could not find out this shortcoming in me. I am very, very thankful. I prostrate at your feet that you have told me my mistakes. Then a devotee tries to become better. So much of introspection can be had on oneself. We only cry, saying that the situation is like this, situation is like that, but how to grow out of those situations, how to transcend from expectations, attachments, how to transcend from set ideas that my life should be like this, or if this happens, I will be happy. To be free from such ideas, to be free from expectations. This is what is the harmony of spiritual wisdom. So, all worship is ultimately self-based and self-addressed. This is a point that worshippers, as a rule, miss miserably. When we worship, mostly the devotees who worship, they miss this point that all worships are actually self-based. We are ultimately wanting to come to the source, the center, our own Atma. See, when we go to a temple, we stand in front of the deity. We look at the deity, we fold our hands. Ultimately what happens? Eyes close. Why the eyes close? Ultimately we go inside. That is what happens. So, we are always wanting to attain our subject which is within us, but we fail to understand it. Now, Baba also said, a Siddha will not be perplexed even when the roof above catches fire. What did he say earlier while wearing the dhoti? That where are you going? Where are you running? There is nowhere to go. You worship in your own heart. He also added, a Siddha will not be perplexed even when the roof above catches fire. Suppose a self-realized person, he feels so much in harmony, he has no likes and dislikes. He has no feeling that this is mine and that is not mine. He has so much of samadarshana, equal vision. He doesn't have any kind of feeling on attachment or clinging to these things are mine, so I must protect these and I'm not bothered about other things. Nothing like that. He's free and all-pervading his mind is. So, a Siddha will not be perturbed or perplexed even when the roof above catches fire. Suppose fire, a house catches fire, everybody will be running around. Baba is saying, a Siddha will be like this. He will not be perturbed. Actually, in Mahabharata there is a story. The detail of the story I couldn't get today. Maybe if I find out, I'll tell next time. Raja Janaka, he is saying that I have a lot of wealth, of which I consider nothing as mine. He was the emperor. So he is saying, Anantam batame vittam yasya me nasti kinchana mithilayam pradiptayam name dahyati kinchana. It is in Mahabharata Shanti Parva, 17th chapter. Anantam batame vittam yasya me nasti kinchana mithilayam pradiptayam name dahyati kinchana. He says that I've got a lot of wealth, but I don't feel that those are mine. So, this kingdom, the capital, Mithila, the Rajdhani, he was in Mithila. He says that if the whole of Mithila burns off, I don't feel that anything has been burned. Only when somebody doesn't feel that these things are belonging to me, one can have that kind of an attitude, right? Say, so many things are happening in the world. We are not that bothered. Only when our tail catches fire, we will be bothered. But a realized master is saying, in the Mahabharata it is saying that Raja Janaka said this, that if the whole of Mithila where I am staying, if that catches fire and is about to be burnt off, I don't think that anything of mine is getting burnt. So, obviously, this means a great deal. So, what does it mean? Baba is telling Swamiji, as a reply to Swamiji's question to him, who is a Siddha? Who is a realized master? How do we know who is a Siddha? What will he behave like? So Baba is saying that this is how he will behave. In one he said that he will say that no need to run anywhere, you are there only. Another he is saying, another example, that if everything burns off around you, you will not feel anything. So Swamiji is then saying that obviously this means a great deal. Religion rests on God, devotees also rest on God. In utter contrast, the Siddha reposes on the self. The great all-pervading God, the immeasurable circle, suddenly contracts as if it were to rest upon and become the single point called the center. So, Swamiji's introspection we are now going through. My dear children, many ask, how do you introspect? Because introspection is something in Vedanta, it has lot of value and emphasis. Viveka and Vairagya, discrimination, vichara, one must do using the intelligence. But how do you do vichara? Many ask the question, how do you do vichara? You have heard something, you are doing something, you are thinking something. What is the vichara process so that it leads you to the self? People are constantly thinking. People are constantly thinking of what? Worldly things. Family, jobs, children, savings, all that. And associated things. Sometimes about the country. So associated things people are thinking. But the way of thinking is not in a manner or guided in a manner so that through those thinking also you go towards the self. That is, you understand that all these things which we are seeing as plural things in our life or in our existence, it is the expression and extension of the self. The self is everywhere. So our common people, worldly people, their thoughts are random. The thoughts are not focused towards the self. Now, here, what is happening? The introspection that a spiritual seeker who has realized and become a spiritual master later on. Are you getting me? We are talking about Swamiji, his association with Baba, his conversations with Baba, hearing Baba's words. What did he think? This is what we are following now. And by that following, what we should gain, we should not just listen and go away. We understand, oh, this is how an introspection should be done. I am just listening as a story and getting up and going. Is it not? Mostly we are listening like a story and getting up and going away to our whatever work we have. But if we really have to learn, we have to go deep into it. Vacha, this is the way the introspection should be. So what was Swamiji's introspection? Swamiji felt that everything is resting on God. Religion is resting on God, devotees are resting on God, and this God we are considering to be somebody all-pervading. But actually for the realized self, Siddhas, he is depending only on the self within. And this whole world, which is also the self and nothing else, then becomes only focused into one's own self. Although we are seeing so much of variety and plurality everywhere, ultimately to understand everything, we have to focus on the self within and understand that that self alone is expressed in all the plurality. So this is the way he is thinking. Can this be? Of what value will then be this existence visible world, extensive visible world? The internal subtle self engulfs the external gross objectivity. Externally it is gross, externally it is plural, but in that plural world, interacting with that plural world, what we have to think about is the one substratum beneath, and that is the self within. This is the Upanishadic wisdom. Then Swamiji comes to this conclusion, oh, this is how we have to introspect. Why did I take up this? Just to go through this process of introspection, hearing the Guru's words, how do we relate it to the Upanishadic knowledge of the olden ancient times when the sages had been talking about the self, and what my Guru is talking, there is no difference in it. And that is what Swamiji, with his introspection, his vichara, his thought process, he could understand what Baba was saying. It is nothing different from the Upanishadic knowledge which the sages of those times were preaching. He thought, oh, Baba is also telling the same thing. That is the same self everywhere. Same self everywhere. Now, Swamiji says that Baba has given him very brief and precise directions at times. Brief and precise directions. Let us see what. I remember, Swamiji is saying, once in Dakshin Khanda, a critical point in one's life was discussed. Swamiji used to ask Baba questions. So in one such discussion which was going on, Baba cited a verse from Bhagavad Gita. Baba cited a verse from Bhagavad Gita. यदहङ आश्रित्य न योत्स्य इति मन्यसे मिथ्यैष व्यवसायस्ते प्रकृतिस्त्वां नियोक्ष्यति. This is 18.59 Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter, 59th shloka. यदहङ्कारम् आश्रित्य न योत्स्य इति मन्यसे मिथ्यैष व्यवसायस्ते prakritistvām niyokshyati. It means resorting to the ego, if you think, I will not fight, your decision is in vain. For nature will compel you to fight. So this is brief and precise directions. See, this is how the Guru teaches. What happens? We have very set ideas in our lives. When we come in the close association of the Guru tells us, explains to us if there is anything which is not conducive for spiritual growth. So in some such discussion, Baba tells Swamiji, see, never say, I will not do this. Never say like this, because we are not sure. We may think, I will never do this, and we have a very strong preference. But if it is to be done, and the nature plans that I should do, you will have to do it. So, we should not be rigid, we should not be arrogant, we should not be holding on to something, some ideas. So, in explaining this, he told this verse. It firmly states that any rigid stand like, I will not do this, is basically wrong and disharmonious. As Arjuna told Krishna in the beginning that he will not fight the Mahabharata war. Arjuna did that. He was telling Krishna that I am not going to fight. And Krishna said, so Krishna himself is saying that never say like this, because that is very wrong and disharmonious. Your stand that I will not do this will be in vain. You will have to do it. Any such assertions are under the influence of ego. So that means you have preferences. What is the preference? I will not do this or I will do that. I do not want to do this. I want to do that thing. That is, I like this. I do not like this. So that comes under preference and prejudices. We should not have any preference. And when do we have preference? When we have ego. I understand what is good for me, I understand. What is best, I understand. That kind of an ego. So, from egoistic standpoint, by influence of ego, we assert and we say that this is what I should do, that is what I should not do, this is the best thing to do, this is what I have thought, my plan is the best, I know it better. This is what we do constantly in our lives. Prakriti, whose creation is the world and whose qualities hold everyone under its sway, would compel one to act in its way. So, Baba says, and Baba is telling about Krishna's words, that Prakriti will compel you to do what Prakriti thinks is right. That is what happens, no? We plan in one manner, but we are a little anxious whether our plan will be successful or not. And we find sometimes that it is not successful. So what happens? We are disappointed when it is not successful. So Prakriti has some plan. He will make you do what it thinks right. The wholesome message these words contain was instilled in me then by Baba. The message, what is this message? The message that Baba gave through this sloka, referring to this sloka, is that do not have ego. Efface your ego. See, that is why Baba was, even when he's realized, he was singing that song, Aamar maatha nato kare, daao he tomar, charon dhular tale, shakol ahankar he amar, dubao chokher jale. Let my head bow down at the dust of your feet, and all my arrogance, my pride, my ego be completely washed away in my tears. That ego has to be effaced. That is the most important thing for any spiritual seeker, my dear children. The wholesome message these words contain was instilled in me by Baba. That is what I say, that when the Guru says something, it should be written in golden words in the heart. Golden words. It is not to be heard from one ear and taken out from another ear. And mostly we do that. The flow of the river is the best when it is smoother. When the river flows, it smooths. When it is smooth, the flow is smooth. That is the best. It's not when it is turbulent, then nobody finds any use by that. This indeed is a warning, caution and direction forever. And Swamiji took it as a direction, a caution and a warning forever. Now I'm reading this, I'm telling you, I'm sharing with you. How many of you are thinking that these should be remembered constantly? Even if we remember, we have to relate it to our actions, our thoughts, our behaviors. It's not enough that I say, oh, Swamiji also says like this, or Baba said like this, and quote that. We have to relate it. We have to translate it into our own lives. And every moment we should try to see that we are not egoistic. That we are not egoistic. It is true that my body was born of my parents, and they have raised me. Now Swamiji is making some general statements, and see how deep are these statements. It is true that my body was born of my parents. For everybody, the body is born of the parents. You know what Swamiji says? When one takes initiation from the Guru, then there is a second birth, and that is the birth in the hands of the Guru, the second birth, the birth from the soul. So, he says that the body was born from the parents, and they have raised me. And for every child, the parents raise the child. But for my parents' caring and nurturing, I would not have grown any child, only because the parents take care and they nurture the child, educate them. The child grows. This is the truth about the body. And this is the truth about the body. Every human being are born of their parents, raised by their parents, looked after by their parents, and that is how they grow. That is the growth of the body. But this is not the truth about my mind, intelligence and heart. Swamiji says, but my mind, intelligence and heart, it's not that they have grown under the influence of my parents alone. When I come to think about my inner personality, I think everything has happened because of my association with Baba. Swamiji says that my body also, like any other children, any other human being, has been raised by my parents. But it's not that my mind, intelligence, etc. have grown only because of my parents' influence. He feels that his transformation, his inner personality has grown only because of his association and close association with his Guru, Baba. And that is the truth. If we are in close association of our Sadguru, our Gurudev, then, and we are open to take his directions, his guidance, then the inner personality grows under his guidance. How he molds us, that is how it grows. Actually, we should allow, when we come to a Guru, we should allow the Guru to mold us according to his wishes. He knows the best for us. We are ignorant and we plan our lives. We feel that is the best for us. Even though the Guru tries to bring about changes, it's very, very difficult if the seeker does not allow himself to be changed. One must completely give oneself in the hands of the Guru and say, please mold me in the manner that you wish me to become. Then the Guru has a freedom to give his advices. My association with him was very intimate, and I always felt I was a receiver, Baba was the giver. So innocently Swamiji is writing that Swamiji's association with Baba was very, very intimate, very close, very near, with no wall between them. And always he felt he was receiving from Baba everything, and Baba was constantly giving him. Baba had told me, opening his heart about every aspect of his life, all that I had to know. Swamiji is saying, Baba was very open and told Swamiji everything about Baba's own life, all that Swamiji must know. I had never found any reservation in him. He never found that Baba withheld something from him. Openly Baba would talk to him. In the same manner, I also had none. So, Swamiji also did not have anything to hide from Baba. He was very, very open to Baba. I found him with no reservation, and so I thought non-reservation, that is openness and straightforwardness, is the true nature of a knower of the truth. Mark this sentence. What is this? He says that Baba told him everything, opening his heart. Baba was never reserved. He never felt that Baba is keeping away something from him. And similarly, Swamiji was very open to him. Seeing that Baba had no reservation and was very open and straightforward, he felt that that is the true nature of a self-knower. That is, a self-knower must develop in openness and straightforwardness. What is openness? Openness is truthfulness. That is, what you think, so you behave, so you talk. It's not that you think something else and you behave in some different manner. And what is straightforwardness? No ego. What you feel should be done wherever, whatever is to be said in a righteous manner, you have the courage to do that. Straightforwardness. So, Swamiji observed in his close association with Baba, he concluded that Baba's nature was very open, unreserved, and straightforward. And he himself was like that to some extent, and he understood that to be a self-knower, one must have these qualities. So that became his aim. See, when Ashtavakra was, Janaka asked Ashtavakra, King Janaka asked Ashtavakra, what is jnana? Katham jnanam avapnoti, katham muktir bhavishyati, vairagyam tu katham praptam, etad bruhi mama prabhu. O Prabhu, he went to Ashtavakra, sage Ashtavakra, and said that, after doing pranam and all that please tell me, how katham jnanam avapnoti, how to attain jnana, spiritual knowledge. Katham muktir bhavishyati, how to become liberated, how one attains liberation. Vairagyam tu katham praptam, and how will one get dispassion? Please tell me all that. And Ashtavakra said, the first advice that he gave was, what is that? Muktim ichchasi chet tata vishayan vishavatyaja kshama arjava daya tosha satyam piyushavad bhaja. Muktim ichchasi chet tata. King Janaka asked, katham muktir bhavishyati. He said that. In reply, Ashtavakra says, if you want mukti, then vishayan vishavatyaja. What? The worldliness, worldly objects, which brings about so much of anxiety, fear, and binds you, makes your mind constantly constricted with fear, anxiety, etc., etc. Vishayan vishavatyaja. Consider them to be poison. Just like suppose somebody has given you a very good drink, you are very thirsty, and you have been given a glass of drink, you are about to take that drink, and you are being told, see, it contains poison. Will you still drink it, or you will throw it? Once you know that this is having poison, everybody will throw it away. So he is saying, Muktim ichchasi, if you want liberation, O my son, chet tata, vishayan vishavatyaja. All the vishayas, all the things that you constantly you are thinking about them, which doesn't give you the eternal peace, eternal happiness. Even if it gives you some kind of joy and happiness, it's mixed with fear and anxiety that you will lose it very soon. So those are poisonous. Don't spend your time thinking about only those things. Instead, what you should do? Kshama, forbearance, arjava, straightforwardness, daya, mercy and compassion, tosha, contentment, satyam, truthfulness. These 5, you try to imbibe these qualities, develop these qualities, stabilize in these qualities. And how you should do? Thinking what? Piyushavad bhaja. You should worship these qualities as if they are nectar. Like vishavat, like poison, you should throw other thoughts which constantly make you only weak. And you should look forward to these qualities as if they are nectar and will make you feel rejuvenated, powerful, confident, hopeful, happy, delighted. So in that, what are there? Kshama, forbearance. Kshama, arjava, straightforwardness. Daya is compassion. Tosha is contentment. And Satya is truthfulness. All of them are very good. Contentment. Are we contented? No. We are constantly asking for something else. Even if we get many things, even if everything is okay, we still feel that something more should be there. Always looking forward to something. We are never santushta. No contentment in our lives. So, contentment and truthfulness, satya. Stand up for the truth. What is the supreme truth? That is attainment of the self. Know that I am the self. Not only know, get established in that. You will never forget that you are the self. Now we are constantly hearing, because in the spiritual field, we are constantly hearing that you are the self, you are the self, you are the self. That is not the knowledge. Just like you don't forget your name, your father's name, where is your house, how many children you have, what are your qualifications, etc., etc. Wherever you are, in whichever situation you are, you don't forget these. Nobody has to remind you. Similarly should be that I am the self, nobody should remind you. You become that. A mother who is a mother, in whichever situation, she may be sick, she may be aggrieved, she may be in a very difficult situation, she will not forget how many children she has. Will she forget? No. Then how does she forget that I have been, my creator is my God, I am God's, or I am the self? Why does she forget? Why do we all forget? Because we don't try to remember. We don't give any value to this knowledge. And we are so ignorant, so foolish. If we know that what this knowledge can give us, it can give us a contentment, a fearlessness, an unaffectedness, or an expanse. All our scriptures are promising that. They are telling that you will attain this. Even though we are hearing about it day in and day out, we don't give value. We give value to the perishable, changeful, worldly things. So Swamiji is saying that this is what a self-knower is. And these are the qualities that a self-knower must have. And all this, it remained etched in his mind. I was always an open-minded person. My open-mindedness got confirmed, and so I remained open-minded. Because of this, I have no problem. And Swamiji says that he understood that to be a self-knower, these qualities should be manifested. Open-mindedness, be open. Nobody should feel that, what is open-mindedness? When there is an open-minded person, you understand. That's very simple, innocent, what he is thinking, you understand. But if there is not, you'll find that something is shielding. As if there is a wall in between. So, he says that Swamiji by nature was open-minded, and now he got confirmed that open-mindedness is one quality, indispensable quality for a self-knower. Because of this, so he remained open-minded. He was open-minded, and he understood that this has to be pursued and has to be strengthened. So he became so. Because of this open-mindedness, I have no problem. He says that in his life, he has had no problem because of the open-mindedness. I can commit a mistake, and I will say, I have done a mistake. Because of the open-mindedness and that straightforwardness, if he makes a mistake, he'll only come and say that I have made a mistake. So there is no problem. Problem comes when we make a mistake and we try to hide from others that I have made a mistake. That is our problem. But if you are open and straightforward, then you will call a spade a spade. See, I have made a mistake. I don't know how did I make a mistake. In both committing a mistake and seeking redemption from it, I am open-minded. In committing a mistake also, Swamiji says he is open-minded. In seeking redemption also, he says he is open-minded. And that we see always. We always see this. Suppose Swamiji has to take some decision about some worker in this ashram. He wants to, there are sometimes some workers, their family situations become very, very difficult. And Swamiji wants to help or anything, but he feels that others may feel that why we are helping. So he will call everybody, all the workers, and say that, see, this is a situation of X. My mind is wanting to help that person. But I am thinking that if I help them, will all of you come to me and say that please help us also? Whereas you don't need it so urgently. So now I am in a confusion whether I can help this person or not. Because you all may sing. See, openly telling them. So every time we have seen that when he says like this so openly, everybody's sympathy goes to this X person and everybody will agree that, no, Swamiji, please help, please help. He or she needs it. This is openness. Okay? So I think for another 1 or 2 weeks we will not have this live. I would have needed 2 more sessions to finish it, which I will do it later. We are going to Jamshedpur on 15th October, coming back on 1st November. So we will again have the live sessions after that. Till that time, maybe premieres. Okay, my love to all of you. Jai Guru. Sampurnam Jagadevanandanavanam Sarvepi Kalpadrumaha Gangam Vari Samasta Vari Nivaha Punyas Samasta Kriyaha Vacha Prakrita Samskrita Shruti Shiro Varanasi Medini Sarvavasthitirasya vastu vishaya drishti parabrahmani Sarvavasthitirasya vastu vishaya drishti parabrahmani. Jai Guru, Jai Guru.